Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Victoria 2: Heart of Darkness. As we last left off, we had taken a bit of Burma, and the Netherlands had managed to lose a big chunk of their Indonesian holdings. So, with no more ado, let's begin. Looks like we have... there we go. Someone goes bankrupt. We didn't have one at the beginning of last time, so it's nice that that little thing starts happening again. It was kind of a tradition that a small German miner goes bankrupt at the beginning of each save, or the beginning of each episode, rather. Our money has evened out. Looking at the Netherlands, while we're not really doing anything else, it would appear that they no longer have any noteworthy allies and have dropped out of the Great Power rank. So pretty soon after this, I'm going to work on more army techs after this particular technology, and then work on taking some of these sweet colonies from the Netherlands, specifically Java. Looking at the newspaper, Sweden's afraid of Russia. New patents happened. USCA apparently has recaptured El Salvador. The US did make peace with Mexico, just looking around, and is now locked in a deadly struggle with the CSA. There we go. Empiricism just came. So I'm going to go for strategic mobility. I really need to finish up some of these second tier second tier army techs, and then I'll be able to take on Netherlands without too much problem. I might try my hand anyways if I can get down near 15 infamy before trying to do anything else, but I'll just keep an eye on it for the moment. We're making plenty of money, so I'm going to drop down the taxation on the poor, let them keep a little more of their money. Before I go to any wars, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 armies. So I'm going to build 27 artillery. Fill them all up so that they have 30, and that way the back line will be a little more filled. Actually, scratch that. 2 artillery and 1 engineer per army. So here, nothing worth building there, so that would be 14 artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. 14. And then 7 engineers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not infantry, engineers, 6, and 7. So that should be a nice, huge chunk out of our finances. Looks like there's a martyr in Korea. I'm going to imprison him. Consciousness is better than militancy, though it probably wouldn't have a huge effect either way. Looking at the newspaper, France is afraid of the UK. Somebody's found a nice dinosaur in somewhere. Elasmosaurus? I don't even know how to pronounce that. And someone else found a different dinosaur. Dinosaurs everywhere. The Geneva Convention just made itself available. I'm going to sign it. No, military-industrial complex probably isn't worth it. None of these changes in research focus are probably worth it, since if you start out with it, it's generally worthwhile to keep going, as long as it's a pretty good bonus anyways. But at this point, I need so many different techs from so many different places, the benefits will be outweighed by the losses. I can either lose 5 prestige, or I can take a lot more militancy. So Chiang Mai can take some militancy. I don't really care. They're pretty angry anyways, it would appear. But it looks like the rebels have stopped. Australia just went bankrupt. That's unfortunate for them. Keeping an eye on the rest of the world. Looks like there's finally some peace here in Europe, with France having taken parts of Belgium, and Prussia still holding Alsace-Lorraine. I'm surprised they haven't gotten the control over North Germany yet to become the North German Federation. In fact, all of these are part of them. It's probably because they haven't taken this area of Denmark, because Denmark is allied with the UK. So until they can do that, they will stay Prussia. The US is overrunning the Confederate States, but the military might is pretty close, so the CSA might just force a white peace here. We'll keep an eye on it. Looking at our diplomatic tabs, I'm going to decrease the opinion of Romania for Russia. I don't really want Russia messing around in Romania. Keeping an eye on Spain. Still has some serious allies. I can't fight them off yet, but and it looks like we kind of snoozed on taking the Netherlands on, but we'll probably get our chance here before too long again. There we go. And I'm going to split off the 2 artillery and 1 engineer. I kind of miscalculated these. Womp. That's okay. They can be 33 large. Oh, I misclicked there. It's not exactly a fun number, but it's a pretty good split as it stands right now. 5 in the back, 6 in the front. Since engineers in Heart of Darkness will now sit in the back row, I'm going to move my fleet back to the home island so that it can transport some of these units. And looks like socialists are gaining some more space in the upper house. Nothing too concerning. We'll just keep an eye on it. Looking at money. Oof. Gonna tax the poor, the middle, and the rich all a little bit more. The upkeep for these new units is pretty high. Strategic mobility just finished. And I'm going to research stock exchange. The extra tax efficiency will be very valuable. And so it's worth researching it. It should only take about 8 months. Not bad by any means. Another German miner went bankrupt. It's really a shame. They should take care of their money better. And everyone's afraid of the UK. Oh. Tensions dissipate. Gonna pause the game here. Muzzle-loaded rifles are nice. Extra supply means it'll be more expensive to upkeep our units, but extra attack means that they'll be able to kill more. And a little bit of prestige, since we found this much later than the game's first inventor, I guess would be the right term here. So we only get the minimum of 1, but 1 prestige is still 1 prestige. Geneva Convention and Red Cross stuff. Ethiopia apparently beat Egypt and took some land. And America and Mexico are now friendly, which is odd. Netherlands has passed. Two Sicilies is now a great power, so we might just see Italy. Although Austria has a large chunk of Italy, so it's probably not that likely. And building up all these units here. Just a few more. I'm going to take the 4 that will be necessary on the Korean Peninsula and move them first, since I can't get all of these units. I don't think I can get all of these units into this boat. Maybe I can. Yeah. Looks like I shouldn't worry about counting. That was just more tensions dissipate, lowering militancy. Another crisis. More Greece expansion. They're pretty greedy for a tiny country. And I'm going to decrease the Russian Empire again. And then ban them if they keep getting closer to actually doing something. Looks like I might get some competition for Spain, but I'll keep a close eye on them. Make sure that nobody tries to take them out of my, well, out of my potential sphere. Considering they're current allies, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to fight them, but sooner or later someone will, and at that point I will be able to, or sooner or later they'll break those alliances. That's what's important. Alright, going to split up this army into each of the smaller armies that will be attached to the existing armies. I should say armies more. And one last one. There we go. And then gonna stick them all onto this boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 4 of them will be moving to Korea. So, oh. There we go. 4 of them can move over here, and then the last 2 sets will be over in Southeast Asia. I'll move to the Malayan Sea and unload them there. Gonna spread these on out. China beware. When I eventually get around to fighting them, I will be taking no prisoners. Going for the throat, so to speak. Raising taxes again, since we're running pretty low. It's pretty expensive to keep up all these units. I'm going to drop down the amount spent on upkeep. 80% for land and 70% for naval, so that I can drop the middle and rich taxes a little bit. There we go, making money again. Not tons of money, but enough. Looks like Kyushu needs to have an upgrade or have the steamer factory finish, but that one will be much more expensive, so I'm going to upgrade one of these once I can afford it. Probably fabric, since that's the cheapest of the 3. There we go. Moving one of the units here. And the last unit will be sent to Burma to help this occupying force. Our truce with Siam ends in another couple years, at which point we'll certainly have low enough infamy to just go ahead and conquer them, thus connecting our land. But at the same time, if a better target shows up, we might take them as well. What might be able to happen is... oh, never mind. I was thinking Bali was a puppet of someone. It is not. So, never mind. That line of thinking wasn't going to go anywhere. I'm going to upgrade this artillery that I just built. Make it a little more valuable. A little more deadly to my numerous and growing number of enemies. And going to move the 3rd Fleet back to the home islands. In case I need to bring any of these units from Korea into Southeast Asia, or anyone anywhere, basically, that's the better place to keep them. It's a central location. Making tons of money again, so gonna drop taxes on everybody. Wow, tons of money. Dropping taxes on everyone twice. And upgrading 2 of these factories. Construction cost put us a little bit into the red, but we're back in the green. Looking at the newspaper, Australia's afraid of us. Good for them. We're not going to fight them as long as they're allied with the UK, but they can be afraid. And a child got bitten by a dog. I'm not really sure why that's noteworthy, but it's in the news, so it must be noteworthy. Yeah, the CSA is not going to win this war. It looks like they have completely run out of military, and the USA is just slowly taking over and occupying their entire country. So the South had their last shake, and now they're going to be gone. The UK and Russia ended in a white peace for the crisis, so Greece does not get to expand any further. And we're once again running a little low on money, so the poor can handle it. Effective tax, even, another extra 1%, but the effective tax is still under the 33% cutoff rate where people start gaining instead of losing militancy. I believe that's the cutoff rate anyways. So I'm going to leave it be for now. Gaining about 100 pounds a day is certainly adequate for our current needs. And upper house just was rearranged. Looks like socialists are still growing, probably due to my high taxes on the poor and low taxes on the rich. But the rich are getting us extra points and the poor are doing nothing except fighting and dying on our wars. So not going to change that. Not planning to anyways. Additional tax efficiency means that I can probably drop taxes on the poor. Yep, just like that. But I'm still not going to change the structure. I want the rich to be paying the least and the poor to be paying the most. To do any otherwise would be too proletariat. And if there's one thing Japan is not, it's communist. Yet, anyways. Might still happen. We're just bleeding off. We're spending our diplomatic influence to bleed off some of the influence of other countries on Spain and on Romania. I'm going to decrease the opinion of France in Spain. And I'm going to look through, see if the USA is a potential ally. Not at the moment, due to infamy and government type, but it's a possibility. Russia doesn't like me. Austria will pretty much never be my ally. And same with the two Sicilies. But I'm going to increase relations with Russia just so that there's a chance they might be friends. Increase relations with the UK. No reason to be on the bad foot with them. And with the US. Just keep your friends close and all of that. Although I believe the rest of it is, and your enemies closer, so it might not be the best. It might not be the most fitting quote here. Making money again. Looks like we're not really running out of space on any of these. I'm going to upgrade this lumber mill though. It's starting to run a little low. Another 2,000 men. And Kenzai, the steel factory, needs to be upgraded as well. I am making pretty good money at least. Spending quite a bit on some of these. Well, mostly just fabric, it looks like. Probably due to the lack of cotton. And let's see where the world's cotton's coming from. We might be able to put one in our sphere of influence and thus be able to get it cheaper and get it before others. I don't want to put anything in China in my influence, but I am going to try and get Hypertabad, which would be, I assume, one of these countries in, yeah. So I'm going to see if I can't kick the UK out of there. I'm betting they won't let me, but it's worth a shot at least. And our artillery's almost done. There we go. Which makes me want to go to war with someone else. Let's see, who to war? Still a truce with lots of these countries, so I may have to wait. We still have plenty of infamy to burn off, so it's not like we're losing anything. Industry is all full up. Culture, I should probably get biologisms here soon. State and government wouldn't be bad either. But organizations probably. I want to focus on my army, so I need to raise that a little bit further still. Moralist resurgence. Do I want to lose militancy or become more moralist? I'll take the militancy loss. I don't know that they're very militant. Apparently they were slightly militant. And so I'm pretty much happy to take that little bit of loss. Militancy is not an issue currently, so... But neither is moralism. Not a big issue either way. Looks like the UK is going to start trying to take Spain, but I have just enough to ban them already anyways. Romania, I'm holding Russia at bay. Oof, running low on money again. Sorry, poor. And middle class. Nah, just poor. Sorry, poor. looks like you're going to foot the bill again. I can either lose prestige or I can gain a CB I'll never use, so I guess I'll gain the CB I'll never use. I'm going to pay off loans. That interest really builds up, so there's absolutely no reason to hold on to loans, certainly not at this point anyways. I'm going to raise taxes in the middle class. We're moving up and down around zero a little too fast for my tastes. Looks like because of the industrial subsidies more than anything. So I'm going to cut those subsidies for a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to need to build a new factory here. So I'm going to build a cement factory. They at least seem to make some money. Our first event for this election cycle. I do not want to be anti-military, so I'm going to choose the lowest choice. And now that everybody's reshuffled, I'm going to subsidize factories again. Hopefully won't lose money quite as quickly. At the very least, got a little bit of a nest egg to keep us going, even if we lose it slightly. Apparently there are more than 100% of voters between these two, but I'm going to go with protectionism, as was the plan from the last election. I also want the court faction to win in this one, so... Oh, well, this isn't a protectionism on free trade. I'm going to choose the one with the lowest free trade boost, then. There we go, a nice invention that increases defense. Looking at the newspaper, Russian Empire is at war on Central Asia. USA has conquered the CSA. Romania's researched something. Artillery's still jumping around crazy like. But yeah, the USA's gotten all sorts of prestige from winning the Civil War, pushing them up a little bit, and certainly giving them a little extra space between them and the Russian Empire, who were 100 behind, but so much above the next few that we thankfully won't have to worry about being replaced or kicked out of the great powers. At this point, it's just a matter of continuing to build up our score and trying to move from 6 to 1, which I have full confidence that we can do, especially once we get some more technology rolling. On this one, I don't really want limited citizenship, so I'm going to choose the smallest choice. And I think I'm going to stop it here for today. January 1st, 1865, Socialists gained some more. Not a whole lot happening in this episode, except that we've upgraded our armies, gotten a few more technologies, and continued to build up our industry. So thank you for watching, and check back next time.